Hi, Collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, Divine Masculines. Welcome back to your weekly check in, you guys. Happy New Year again to you, Divine Masculines. I pray that you brought in the new year in great health with lots of joy and success. So, Divine Masculine, this is going to be a different check in. Since we just had the full moon in Cancer that passed on January 3rd, I want to see the overall energy between you and your soulmate, the person that is on your mind, the person that you are trying to attract, and kind of see where you guys stand. If there's any messages that I can give to you from your current soulmate or soul bond at this time, Divine Masculines. Welcome back, all of my current subscribers and followers. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Like I said, I hope you guys had an amazing new year. I hope things are going well so far. I feel like this year is going to be full of great success for the collective. So I am looking forward to seeing your progress. So, first energy out is Raven. Let me roll the dice, get you guys some letters, and then let's see what the overall energy is. Interesting. So with these three dots being rolled out twice, that makes me feel like there's some of you guys who have a decision that you need to make about a particular soul bond or soulmate, someone that you see as a divine connection, somebody that you are interested in being with, but I feel like you are still trying to decide what direction that you want to go in. We also have the letters S, Q, G, and D. Okay, so that could be your first, middle, or last initials, or their first, middle, or last initials. Okay, and then we have the Raven for the energy. So the Raven is asking you, Divine Masculine, what are you afraid of? Don't fear the Raven. Its pitch black feathers, hollow croak, and sharp beak may lend it an ominous presence, but look into its glittering eyes, and you will see wisdom and intelligence. Many indigenous cultures revere this resourceful and clever member of the corvid family, which travels in flocks and feeds on carrion. It is viewed as a symbol of death, rebirth, and transformation. The raven appears in much folklore, art, and literature, often as a forbidding presence. That's very interesting, and I'll tell you why in a second. In the folk song, The Three Ravens, the trio of birds are deprived of feasting on the body of a dead knight by his loyal hawks and hounds who guard him. The raven also scavenges on dead bodies post battle in Welsh mythology, where it is seen as messenger between this world and the next. In Scottish myths, it is associated with second sight, and ravens preside over mirrors and scrying tools in witchcraft. So historically, witches were believed to shapeshift into ravens, and King Arthur was said to live on embodied in raven form. Maybe for these reasons, it is considered unlucky to shoot one. So when I have anxious thoughts, I channel the fearless spirit of the raven to challenge them. So a couple of messages that I'm getting from this card, the raven. So in pertaining to the person on your mind, divine masculine, your soulmate, the person that you are romantically attracted to, want to be with, wish you could be with, I feel like a couple of things. I feel like this is a person who is considered taboo, whether that is amongst your friends, your family, even maybe for you. This is somebody who is you would not usually be attracted to, I'll say. I also feel like there is fear here because I feel like this person also has possible special gifts, spiritual gifts that maybe you fear in some way as well. I feel like in a lot of ways you feel like this connection would be forbidden. And so you have these anxious thoughts about this particular person that is preventing you from making a decision to walk towards them. But I feel like this is an individual who has extreme insight, a lot of intelligence, and who is very, very resourceful. So I feel like as a partner, this will be somebody who would be of benefit to you, even though there is this stigma around this particular person for multiple reasons. So I feel like this is something that you will need to overcome your own anxiety, your own fear about this particular person. Because I feel like if this is your person, divine masculine, they are very resourceful. They have a lot of insight. They're very intelligent, from what I can tell. And they know how to adapt to a lot of different environments. Okay. So I'll just sit this to the side. So the raven. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to pull your soulmate manifestation spread. So I'm going to ask a series of questions for you, divine masculine, regarding the person that's on your mind. Let's see if we can get a little bit more about the story, about the situation that's going on between the two of you. And let's see if we can make some sense of this. And then I'll pull an overall spread for you as well to get a little bit more detail here. Okay, so our first question is, what would your soulmate have to say to you at this time, divine masculine? Or vice versa, what would you say to your soulmate? So, friend, we share a connection with a mutual friend or acquaintance. So, this is somebody that you definitely know. This is somebody who is from your past or is currently in your present, but you guys have a connection with other friends. So, these are all mutual friends. This tells me that this is within a kind of small community, even if it's within a city. This could be a community depending on like a workplace or a type of job that you guys do, where everybody kind of knows everybody. So I feel like this is somebody that definitely knows you and that you already know, but maybe right now you guys are just friends. Okay. Next question. Will you be with your soulmate soon? So this flipped out in the reverse. And this says culture. There are cultural norms and expectations that I need to overcome before we can really be happy together. That's very interesting because, again, when we were talking about the raven, right? I said that this is somebody who could be considered taboo in some way, shape, or form. So this tells me that this is a person that's a friend of yours. And you guys are of different cultures. You guys have these differences, whether it's culture, um, there could be multiple things that are different about you, but there are definitely differences here that could make this connection seem taboo, not only to you, divine masculine, but also to the people around you. So I feel like that is why there is some hesitation, there's some fear and anxiety when it comes to the thought of being with this person. I feel like it coming out in the reverse, I feel like this is telling me that this is something that you want to overcome. I feel like this is something you don't want to stop you from moving forward and pursuing your connection with this particular person. Okay. Are there any obstacles or challenges that are standing in the way of you being together? and lessons is the card that came out. So I feel like this is a connection from your past. I feel like there is a separation here. And I feel like it's because you guys were not ready when you first met each other. Again, that friend card being out here tells me that you guys are still connected through mutual friends. But with this lessons card here, it tells me that maybe not connected directly to each other. There are still lessons I have to learn before I can be ready to be with you. I feel like this is something that you want your soulmate to know. You want them to know that you are working on your healing. You are working on trying to learn these repeated lessons that maybe before was not very clear to you, but maybe during the separation, you have started to understand things more, see things more clearly, the patterns within your relationships in your life, and you have begun to work on healing these connections. And these are lessons that maybe took you a little while to really truly understand, and maybe they only became clear once you guys were actually in separation. Okay, so this is your challenge between you and your soulmate right now. The lessons that still need to be learned, that still need to be, healed from, coped with, things like that. Okay. What steps can you take to align yourself with the energy of your soulmate, divine masculine? Let's see. What steps can you take? Creativity. I'm excited to collaborate with you and curious to see what we create. When two creative souls join forces, the results can be profoundly beautiful and rewarding. So I feel like the energy that you are trying to get in is an energy of creativity. I feel like it's going to take some creativity for you to possibly deal with a situation right now that doesn't allow you to move towards your soulmate. So I feel like you're having to be creative, figure out a plan, put the plan in place. So there's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of collaboration going on with you, divine masculine, that your soulmate would not be aware of, things that you're trying to do and work out creatively that will allow you to start to progress and move toward your soulmate. Okay. I feel like this card too is telling me that once you have learned the lessons, once you have done the healing, once you have become ready, I feel like you will want to collaborate with your soulmate, with your divine feminine. I feel like you will want to connect with them and do something creative together. I feel like that thought is very exciting for you. And I feel like it's also motivating you to learn the lessons that need to be learned here so that you can move towards them. Okay. Where and how can you increase your chances of meeting your soulmate? So, this is for the group of you who maybe have not actually met this person yet. This beginning energy is for people who actually already know who their soulmate is. So, denial came out here. So, I feel like with this being the card that came out for the question, where and how can you increase your chances of meeting your soulmate? I feel like what this is saying is you can't be in denial about what you want, right? If you're trying to attract someone towards you, it means that you have to be crystal clear as this mirror and know exactly what you want, know exactly what you're moving towards. But when you are in denial, it's a subconscious block It is limiting beliefs that interfere with your ability to manifest love. So you cannot be in denial about what you want, the person you want, what you're trying to attract. So that's the energy that you have to get out of in order to increase your chances of actually meeting your soulmate. Okay. What important life events or circumstances may lead me to cross paths with my soulmate? Unavailable came out. I'm currently in a relationship with the wrong person, but I will find my way to you eventually. So this is pertaining to both situations. So this is for my divine masculines who are single or who have their soulmate as a friend. And maybe you guys are not currently connected to each other, but you guys have mutual friends. This is also pertaining to a collection of my divine masculines who are currently already in a committed relationship and they are currently unavailable, but they have the desire to walk away from a current karmic connection or connection that they no longer desire in order to move towards the person that they want. So I feel like to answer the question of what important life event or circumstances may lead you to cross paths, I feel like this is going to take a divorce, a separation, physically being apart from a current connection. So some of you guys may be in the process of doing this, of going through those steps, coming out of the denial about what your heart actually wants, learning the lessons of, who is supposed to be a part of your life and who isn't, not allowing culture or external factors, friends, family, even your own negative thoughts to prevent you from moving forward and toward the person that you truly want, and figuring out how to actually become available, not only physically, but also emotionally. Most of the time, people who have been in karmic connections and they've been in relationships or marriages long term unhappy are usually emotionally unavailable because they become numb to matters of the heart because they are used to not actually getting the type of love that they truly want and desire. So, coming out of this unavailable energy is what's going to be the major event that puts you closer to being with your actual soulmate. Okay. What are some clues about the personality and identity of my soulmate? What are some clues? So, what is going to describe the soulmate that you are moving towards, divine masculine? Trauma. I'm working through my trauma so I can be whole for you. So the person that you are going to connect with, divine masculine, is someone who's also had trauma in their life. This is somebody who currently is still going through their healing journey. They are ensuring that by the time you meet each other, they are actually whole as well. It's never fair for you to jump in from one relationship to a new relationship, bringing all of your old emotional baggage to the new connection. And so I feel like this person is very honest and they will be honest with you and let you know that they are still probably going to be healing when you come across each other. But by the time you get there with the things that you also need to do, divine masculine, this person will be in a much better place of feeling whole and not being codependent on love or not feeling, like they need to people please. So this is somebody who is truly working on their own internal trauma and struggles, which is an amazing thing. I feel like two people coming together who are both whole is how you create a beautiful, healthy, long lasting connection. One person should never depend on the other person to make them feel happy. you should already feel happy on your own. And having someone in your life that is also healed is just going to be icing on the cake. It's just an additional level of happiness. Okay. What I'm also seeing here, what I'm noticing too, is these two clocks. And what I notice about the clocks, and yeah, I'm getting the chills here. What I'm noticing about the clocks is, first of all, the colors. The colors that I'm seeing remind me of the seven chakras, all the colors of your seven chakras. And what that's telling me is that both of you are working on finding balance within self. Again, both of you will need to work on being healed and balanced within before you connect. Also, here, what I'm noticing with the clock, both of the clocks have similar times. To me, that tells me that you guys are mirroring each other, meaning that you are really on a parallel path towards each other at this time. And I feel like this is going to be something that comes together in divine timing as well. Wow. Okay. All right. What does your future look like with your soulmate? Journey. I see a journey in our future. Is this how we'll meet? So this could mean that you guys will be both traveling when you meet each other. This could mean that when you guys actually come together, you guys will continue on your divine journey. I feel like for some of you guys, this connection is going to come together in divine timing because you guys have a bigger mission together. So once you guys come together, there will be something that you guys do and create together that will become your journey, your path, as a power couple. But some of you guys could actually meet this person if you don't know them already while you are traveling, as well. Beautiful. Okay. And then last one, is your soulmate ready to meet you now? Let's see. Like I said, confirmation, you guys. Healing. Like I said, they are in the process of healing. This is going to be about one person, which I feel is you here, the energy of you, divine masculine. You're currently unavailable to this person. You are in a current situation with the wrong person, and you are trying to creatively figure out how to get yourself out of that situation. So you are not available at this time. And I feel like this is your soulmate's energy, this trauma energy. I feel like you both have your levels of trauma, both have your levels of lessons, right, that you're learning. But this is energy that is going through their healing process right now. You are still working through other lessons. This healing will eventually come. But I feel like you guys are on the same trajectory. So I feel like it won't be right now immediate because there's still healing that is needed on both sides. I'm going through a process of healing and restoration so that I can be in optimal health again. Some of you guys may be dealing with some health issues right now that you are trying to come out of or resolve as well. So I feel like it won't be right now immediate. Yeah, some of you guys are dealing with some toxic energy and that you wouldn't want to expose your soulmate to at this time. Okay? Because you feel like they don't deserve that. So it's not time just yet, but I feel like this is something that is definitely happening and going to happen in divine timing. And you guys are both working on this simultaneously. Both of you guys are learning those lessons and working on your healing. All right. All right, divine masculines. Some good things coming. Definitely keep healing. I'll keep helping you guys with your shadow. That's part of my weekly schedule to help you guys kind of talk about, address those shadow aspects of yourself, to continue to help you heal, to continue to help you have, you know, courage to deal with the connections that are holding you back from being able to open up your heart space again, keeping you from being with the person that you actually want to be with. Yeah, see, confirmation. You guys are in love with someone else, but you feel lonely where you are. You are ready to move forward towards your person, your actual soulmate, your actual divine partner. So, give me some more details about this situation for divine masculines. Dead end, a place or condition where things must stop or options are exhausted. Yeah, this is the energy, divine masculine, that I feel like you are in. I feel like in the situation that you are currently in, the reason why you are currently unavailable to your soulmate, you're at a dead end with it. There's no more options left. You've exhausted all possibilities to try to overcome the situation, to see if you can make it work. Because I feel like I'm talking to someone who is very loyal and, yeah, very loyal. You like the idea of home, of partnership, of being, in love with your best friend. You could be a water sign, very emotional energy, or fire sign, very passionate energy as well. But I feel like you're at you're at your wits end with this current connection that you are in. You feel like there's nothing else that you can do to fix it. And I think that is why you're at that point where, okay, what's next? How do I creatively get myself out of this situation? Because you're ready to move forward. Bear, protection, safeguarding, physical and mental strength, and resilience. Yes, this is the energy that you will need to have in order to overcome this particular situation. I feel like you're dealing with someone who's not going to make it easy for you to just walk away from the connection. So you are going to have to protect yourself and safeguard yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. You're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to be 10 steps ahead in your thinking, because you may be dealing with someone who's going to do anything to hold you back, or may go as far as possibly trying to harm you in order to keep you still. So just be mindful. Be mindful. I feel like also with this bear energy, divine masculine, I feel like you are a protector. I feel like you want to protect your soulmate, the person that you want to move towards. I feel like there's this sense of urgency almost because you can't protect them while you're away. And I feel like there's this worry. Even when I was reading about the raven, it talks about having this anxious mindset, this anxiety. Um, when I have anxious thoughts, I channel the fearless spirit of the raven to challenge them. And I feel like this is what you're going to need to do while you are dealing with trying to change your current situation, in order to be able to find your resilience, in order to be able to persevere. Channel the raven. Every time you feel anxious, find something that changes that thought process, changes your mood, a reminder as to what direction you're going in, how happy you're going to feel once you've come out of this situation. But yeah, with the bear looking out into the world, kind of with his feet up on this little hill, I feel like that is kind of a feeling of longing, looking towards a direction you want to go in. What else? Yeah, sorrow. The bottom of the deck. I feel like this is your current energy. You are so ready for change in this situation that it's sometimes difficult for you to stay happy or excited because of what you desire, because of the change that you want to make. Void, feeling like you're in a void, a sense of emptiness, a feeling of being lost. Yeah. Yeah. with this being at a dead end, there's nothing left in your current situation. The suitcase is empty. You're ready to pack up all your things and walk away. The situation, the connection doesn't bring you any type of emotional feeling. That's good. Angel, a pure, well intentioned person, divine protection and messages. I feel like you are also being divinely guided here as well and protected. I feel like your thoughts are very, very strong, meaning your energy, your vibration about what you want is very, very strong. And I feel like you have angels, your spirit team, ancestors that hear you, that have heard your prayers, that know exactly what direction you want to go in. And I feel like this is also how you see the person that you want to move towards. I feel like you see them as somebody pure, that is well intentioned, that brings a level of protection. And I feel like this is somebody who you want to reach out to, you want to talk to. I feel like you have a lot to say to this particular person. What else? Yeah, like I said, I feel like you're in separation, and I feel like you want to bring a level of harmony. You want to heal this balance and harmony, the harmonious working together of different parts, tasks, or people. Yeah, you want to bring peace to a connection. Like I said, and there's a separation here, and it is because you are not currently available. You were not emotionally available, physically available, and it was too difficult for your person to stay connected to you. It was heartbreaking, especially because it seems like the feelings were definitely mutual here between the two of you. So this person had to make a very tough decision. They had to walk away from the situation because it was void of substance. There was nothing that you could give them of substance. Again, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in any type of way. You know, you guys were friends and you had mutual friends, but you both knew that that wasn't going to be good enough. And I feel like you had enough respect for this person to allow them to walk away, but it was very difficult. And I feel like there were some things that maybe were said, an argument, some things that were done that was harsh, that caused this person to walk away. And so I feel like you want to bring a level of apology. You want to harmonize again with this person because I feel like you miss them dearly. You feel very lonely. You feel like you've run out of options. Self. It is the awareness of one's own thoughts, feelings, and existence, focusing solely on thinking about and seeing oneself. I feel like this is the energy of your person. I feel like after they had to disconnect from you, they went within. This is why we saw their healing, you know, their trauma. You guys were probably trauma bonded. When you guys were together, it was based off of both of you hurting deep down. This person probably had gone through their own breakup, prior connection that left them heartbroken, and then they met you and you connected. Your stories were very similar. You guys have been through very similar things when it comes to matters of the heart, but this person walked away from their past person sooner or much faster than you have, divine masculine, and so they have gone within. They have become more aware of their own feelings, their own thoughts. This is how they are healing, because they are looking within. They are not looking for external validation right now. They are trying to figure out their triggers and their trauma that created this trauma bond. And again, this person wants to be whole. They want to feel like they understand who they are. And so some people might see this person as selfish at this time because they probably are in hermit mode. They probably don't do much or go out or socialize much, but this person feels it is necessary. And if you guys are on the same trajectory as we saw in the soulmate spread, that means that this person is really doing their healing. And so they need this time to themselves right now. What else is going on here? Change. Yeah. Confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. This person is working on their transformation, their change. They want to be better. I think they are tired of heartbreak. They are at also a dead end when it comes to matters of the heart. They no longer want to feel that type of pain anymore. They no longer want toxic connections or relationships anymore. So this person is deciding to go through that transformation, that adaptation, that shift from one state to another. This is what your person is doing, if you were wondering. No, they are not out in the world partying and going out every night and hanging out and being promiscuous and throwing their energy to the wind. This person is truly choosing to go within with self in mind. Wow. What else? What else, Spirit? What's going on? Yes, confirmation again. They are repairing. They are correcting and restoring their soul. They are literally healing their spirit, their mind, their body, their soul. They are putting their puzzle pieces back together. They are truly digging deep. This person is doing some shadow work, some deep rooted shadow work. Whoever this is, I like them because they are not afraid to dive deep. They're not afraid to look at those ugly things, to truly look at themselves. Instead of pointing the finger and blaming everyone else in their life, they have decided, let me go within. Let me actually look at me. This is what shadow work is, which creates a beautiful transformation. Although the process of healing is ugly, but they are in repair mode at this time. They are making the effort to truly, truly fix themselves. So, Divine Masculine, whoever this is, if you can get on their level, it will be a beautiful thing. Yeah. And you feel burdened right now. Yes. Yes. This is your situation. You feel burdened. You have an emotional and physical weight or load, a lot of responsibility on your shoulder right now. And if this is you going through this process of separation and divorce, yes, this is an emotional burden, very physical burden. It's taking a toll, but that is because it's at a dead end. There's nowhere else to go. Maybe you have the person on the other side of you who you are trying to walk away from, who has not accepted the fact that it's at a dead end. So maybe there is a level of disagreement here, but it's overwhelming for you right now. You have a lot of responsibility, a lot of things to take care of, a lot of decisions about things to make, especially when you're talking about a divorce. If there's assets involved, real estate, you know, all of those things, kids. I mean, there's a lot of things to figure out. What else? What wanted to flip? Yeah, mixer. Yeah, the coming together of differences, chaos, confusion, complex situations. Yeah, I feel like there's so much going on in your world right now. But I feel like this is you having to face the consequences of your decisions, of your choices, of your, choice of partnership. In order to get out of this, you have to face it. And there is a lot of things, like I said, going on in that mixer, a lot of complex situations. But again, while I know the desire of your heart, you have a lot to handle and go through and deal with. So it is definitely going to take you physical and mental strength and resilience, and you protecting yourself in order to get out of this. mix of burden and chaos, divine masculine. I believe in you though. I believe that you can do this because I believe that this is somebody that you truly want. I feel like you know this is your person. Yeah. And you are tired of dealing with the snakes. You are tired of dealing with the cold blooded, self interested, threatening individuals and influences in your life. This is what you have experienced. This is why you now know that you're at a dead end, because the energy of these connections that you've been in, people you've been dealing with, romance, friends, co-workers, it doesn't matter, family, this is their energy. And you are ready for this type of energy, this angel energy. You are ready for divine love. You are ready for unconditional love. You are ready for true partnership. You are ready for integrity. You are ready for purpose. You're ready to give your energy to someone who can give it back to you equally. And you deserve that, divine masculine. But yes, there is a lot to unpack in this situation for you. Yeah, confirmation. You are on a quest right now. Yeah. A specific or unclear state of search and effort to reach a goal. This is what you are on right now. And we know what your goal is, right? Is to get to this angel, this person that you feel so protective over, that you long for, where your heart lies. When you think about this person, you think of home and being in a harmonious connection, being able to create a gentle space, a peaceful space to live. I feel like your life has been so chaotic, so much confusion, so many complex situations that you are just done. You are tired. You're tired, divine masculine. Yes, you are. All right, let me give you one more oracle to close this out, see if it'll help give you some advice here. The sibling. What's the advice for the divine masculine before I close this out? Spirit 147. Let's see. The sibling. Some of you guys have a sibling that you're close to, or possibly that you have some beef with right now. Some of you guys have a jealous sibling. Why do you compare yourself to me? Sibling rivalry plays out in many stories, from the gruesome love rivalry to the Trois Sisters, a 17th century murder ballad in which a young woman is drowned by her jealous sister, to the battle for the king's favor between his three daughters in Shakespeare's King Lear. Sisters are often portrayed as rivals driven by jealousy, with one sister depicted as good and the other as bad. Fortunately, there are other tales to counter this gloomy view of family life. The Three Little Pigs and the fairy tale of the same name eventually band together to defeat the dastardly wolf who is intent on killing them for his supper. And in Disney's Frozen, loosely based on the Snow Queen, the sister relationship between Elsa and Anna is a supportive one. I am equal with my sibling and love them without judgment. So, again, some of you guys might have siblings who currently support your pursuit to walk away from this current karmic connection. And some of you guys might have siblings who are working very hard to sabotage your ability to walk away from this karmic connection. Some of you guys could be dealing with a situation that you have a sibling who's actually slept with your current spouse or significant other, which is why you are working to walk away, which is why there are a lot of chaotic, confusing, and complex situations involved in this matter. Just flip it where it goes, you guys. But at the end of the day, like I said, for most of you, you are ready to walk away. The situation is dead. You are ready to go through your healing. You're ready to leap towards this angel who's very significant to you. And some of you guys, once you walk away from your current situations, this is when you will find and walk towards your soulmate, your angel, the person you're supposed to be connected to. I'll roll the dice for you guys one more time and see if we can get some other letters for you that might be significant. Okay. I have the letters Y, U, N, A, and K. All right, Divine Masculine. I hope this was helpful for you this week. I pray that the situation works out amazingly for you. I know that you have a lot to handle, a lot to do in order to get out of this seemingly chaotic situation that you are in right now. But I feel like if you keep this energy like the bear, protect yourself, safeguard yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally stay strong and resilient, you will figure this out. All right, you guys. Until next time. Bye.